Today is the first day of March 2014, the first day of spring in Russia, and we are very honored to have Santosh with us and to hear from her own lips many of her experiences. Santosh, welcome. How did you first hear about Mother and Sri Aurobindo?
So far as I remember, I was in 6th class when I started reading their literature. Some books were there in our house, and at that very age, I never felt that I didn't understand anything. It was all as if it was known to me before. So that was my experience that in the 6th class when I was at the age of about 12 years age. And then I continued. When I came to 8th class and Sri Aurobindo left his body in 1950 and I got the news in the school itself, I remember still that day that I went into a corner and wept bitterly, not knowing what happened to me, but I was telling myself there was only one place in the world where I could go now, where will I go?
Santosh, where were you going to school at that time?
Yes.
Where were you in school?
That was in Haryana, in Ambala,
Haryana.
Kent.
Okay.
Ambala.
And you were 12 years old when you heard that Sri Aurobindo had left his body.
And then I cried bitterly that where will I go now? There was only one place in the world where I thought to go. I didn't know about Mother at that time, although I read her books. But I thought probably after his leaving, there won't be any ashram or any such arrangement that we could go there. So I cried. Anyhow, time passed. I did my matriculation. Then after my passing my intermediate, it so happened that my elder sister was in some center of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. I went there in my holidays, and from there, the manager of that ashram came to Pondi, so I came along with him because I had an urge inside that I had to go.
What year was this?
That will be
Early 50s?
Yeah, early 50s, about 52 or maybe 53. When I came here, it was 55, yes, it was 55, first time when I came. So I decided to, and at that time, Mother's permission was necessary for any darshan whosoever wanted to come. So it was granted, and I came without telling my father that I'm leaving. While boarding the train, I just put a postcard that I'm going. He was shocked, naturally, young girl. But anyway, I had a deep urge for seeing Mother, coming to the ashram. And the first meeting with the Mother, I can just tell you that is still, till now, it is so much thrilling for me that I still remember with gratitude what she had given me at that time. First we had balcony darshan in the morning when we reached, and then in the evening playground, face to face. Somebody gave me flowers that when you are going you can do pranam today, take this flower. And I didn't know anything to bow down or how to offer flowers even. I kept it in the pocket and went to the Mother. And when I wanted to give, I just took it out and she was smiling. It was not the way, of course, but she didn't say, but she taught me how to give and how to receive. She put her gown like this, and then I had to give like this. And the way she looked, and even then I didn't bow down because I was constantly looking at her. And when I left, whole line was there behind me. 2-3 steps ahead I went. I felt somebody pulled me by a rope. I turned. It was she who was looking and who was pulling. By her looks, I came back. And then she held both my hands and started gazing. I don't know how much time lapsed. But she awakened my soul within. And I could see my real mother in front of me after many, many, many births. As if that was my first meeting with the mother.
Then you went upstairs to have interview with her?
I talked very little with mother because always she gave me from within everything. It's a very little correspondence of talk with the mother, but whenever I went, or in dreams, or otherwise whenever I prayed or meditated, always from within I got the answers. And that's why even after her withdrawal, I don't feel her physical absence. She's still with me every moment. She's always there, a constant presence, a constant grace, a constant protection that I always feel. In such a big span of life, 75 years, I never feel lonely, never feel helpless, never feel unprotected. Even my recent operations, 6 operations I had, and I had the unique experience for each operation, how she was with me, so much so that ultimately in this brain operation, doctor had to say, who didn't know anything about the ashram, about me, first time we met, it is not the operation that I did, somebody has made me to do this. Even the doctor could feel, 3 doctors, they still come here after that. They are in contact. They started reading. One doctor said, senior most doctor, you have changed the course of my life. It was not you who was standing before us, it was mother who was standing before us. We saw mother in you. Look. So she gives you the not only feeling, not only a perception, but a clear experience that she is with us.
So you were 17, roughly, when you came to the ashram. When did you settle in the ashram?
Settled in 1958 at the age of 20. And before that, of course, I was quite sure about myself from within, about my decision also. But I had to reply to my parents who were pressing me to come back, that once for all, if I could say something categorically to them. Then I asked mother. And I didn't ask. We used to go to mother daily in the playground. I just wrote a line on a slip. I didn't know the envelope or how to give the letter also. I just wrote on a slip of paper, just only one line. And that is, what particular mission have you assigned for me, mother? Will you tell me? And she read in front of me and nodded her head like that to go. So I thought probably she doesn't want to, or she may give the answer afterwards. Next day also I waited, no reply. She looked at me, she gave as usual, not replied. Third day also passed, and then I also forgot that probably she doesn't want to give. Fourth day, unexpectedly, she caught hold of my hands. You know English? I was intermediate at that time, past intermediate. I said, yes, mother. Then she said, very emphatically, holding my hands, holding with her eyes, the only mission in life, in your life, is to serve the divine. That was all. And she blessed me. She asked me to, like this. So I understood this is the answer for me. Final answer for me. So I could reply to my parents.
And
Then while going, then I told her, and that also not with words. I just prayed to her, call me back soon. And she said, she understood without telling. And she said, yes. And she called me within a year. Next year I stayed down.
And your parents were accepting?
In the beginning, yes, but they came also afterwards. And then my father said, now I'm seeing the place, I am now at least, I have no worries. Only thing is we cannot come so far often to see you, but I'm at least not worried now. Place is good. And with mother also, they were quite impressed and all that. Then my father put the question to me. We were so young, I was 20 only. You have accepted mother, it's all right. You adore her, it's all right. But after mother? He asked me at that very time. Because in Indian families, first father, then husband, then son, somebody is there to look after, isn't it? So life runs like that. But now, as you don't want to marry, what do you think of your future? So then I asked my father, it's all right you are thinking in those terms, but as you know, we are not going to marry. Even if we don't stay there, we are not going to marry. What will happen if you are not there? Have you ever thought of? And mother, we have accepted as God, in the form of God, by our experience, not by anybody's telling or saying.
Yes.
That was the most decisive point for us. We always went with our feeling, not with anybody saying. And as you are worried that you think she is God, everybody goes away. What will happen then? Then I said, and in that young age, without any much experience, what I replied to him is, mother is like an air flowing everywhere. You cannot catch that air in a glass, in a bottle, and say only this is mother, nowhere else mother. So we take Mother God in that way. She is ever present, she is everywhere. Even if she lives physically, it's not for us that she is away from us. Then he said, so now I am assured that you have chosen in a very right way, a right path.
You told me you had some special remembrances and experiences with Mother. Can you share any of those with us?
The first thing when I asked from the mother about the mission of my life, 3 days she took me to answer it, as I told you.
Yes.
In those 3 days, at home, in my room, I could see Mother all the time, always around me, looking me, searching me from everywhere. even from the body. She was probing. I could feel, and it was very delightful thing when she was doing it. And what automatically, spontaneously came from within the lines of Mirabai, a bhajan, a song, Mane cha kare rakho ji. That is, keep me as your slave. That was the line that came out. And that is what she replied after 3 days. Isn't it an experience of life?
Yes.
In the same way she replied, to serve the divine. So more and more I was assured that I am right, what I am choosing, what I am doing, what I am deciding.
What work did Mother give you in the ashram?
Well, when I sent my photograph for the permission to stay here, Ravindraji told, seeing the photograph, she told Ravindraji, from photograph she looks like a teacher. But don't give her teaching work.
Oh,
Give her some more useful work. And
more
so
useful.
work. As if teaching is not so useful. So naturally all the teachers who were asking for me for a Hindi teacher, so they were disappointed. And then Ravindraji, with her permission, with her sanction, gave me in the press, ashram press, in the Hindi section. And this I can just point it out to you, that when she said more useful work, that I am realizing now after 55 years, what for she said so. At that time I was an apprentice to learn all the work of the proofreading and printing books, and now I am in charge of that section. And learnt everything. But now on my own, independently, I am doing translation now with the proofreading. Translation revising also, previous translations, revision of that, and independently some translation also. And that is has become so useful that I still remember her so gratefully, that what work you have given to me. This work has sustained me during all my illness of these 5 years, which I have undergone 5 operations. And all the brain work after the brain operation, in these 5 years I have finished Mother's 15 volumes of revision of translation.
Oh my
And that is my joy, with joy, what she has made of
In which language?
Hindi.
goodness.
So every moment is memorable with the mother, what we spend, what we breathe, what we say, what we do. It's full of her. That's what I can say.
Santosh, not many people have spoken to us about a dear friend of mine and yours, Ambu. Could you tell us some stories about Ambu?
Somehow, when I came here before staying, for 2 times I came before staying here permanently, I was attending his Savitri classes. He used to take for visitors. So I used to attend those classes. And somehow, as I told you, this literature never was foreign to me. I always understood each and every word of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. And that Ambu Bhai noted in his classes, and he inspired me also, and I liked him also too much, and I got his blessings also many a times. And after that I worked with him also. I typed his correspondence when he went outside in foreign world tour after his English friends and American friends, he used to correspond, that I took up the job of typing his letters. And through that, I learned much what he used to write. Feeling was another thing, but this was outwardly what I learned much. And then I studied Savitri also personally when he was sick. He couldn't take classes. I used to go to him at night and study for half an hour. That individually he took the pains so much. But apart from all that, what I got from him is he had the power, as mother used to give us through her eyes. He had also some power. He used to awaken that thing in that aspiration in him whenever I used to go to him. But the most wonderful thing was, in spite of doing that, he was doing it silently, without telling, without letting you know that he's doing anything. He cured me also many times from my illness whenever I told him. That power he had, but he never showed it. He never claimed it. And he always turned us towards mother, not towards him. Otherwise, people have the ego of, I am something. That was the most wonderful thing about him I felt and I knew he is not for that. He always turned us towards mother. And while leaving, going out for the world tour for the first time, when I went to him for pranam, saying goodbye, for the first time then he uttered, sadhana mein pragati karo. Progress in your sadhana. That was his blessing. But he loved me too much. But I received from him like guardian, like a parent, like a friend. And I hardly lived with him 7 years. 58 I came, 65 he left his body. And 6 months before he left, I had the feeling he is withdrawing. Still, that inner relation, that is the very beautiful thing with the inner relations. You don't feel the pangs of separation. You don't feel the sorrow of separation. But you see the person on some other level. Not only memories, not only guidance, a constant presence with you as we have Mother and Shiva. That reverence for him never left. I still revere him. But it's not a sorrowful remembrance. It's a very, very joyful whenever I remember.
I wanted to ask.
And he had the power
Yes.
to cure also. There are instances, when he went to our place, my eldest brother came to receive him on the station. He had asthma at that time. And he didn't tell anything. He came home, chatted, they had dinner and all that. But he was observing that he has got trouble. He has got trouble. He didn't say anything as usual, as was his way. He did silently whatever he wanted to. At night, while sleeping, going to sleep, my brother felt, no, this is absolutely gone. He couldn't believe it. But believe me, in his whole lifetime, he never had the second attack of asthma. So that was Ambubhai.
I remember especially how joyous Ambu was.
Yes. Always bubbling, always
Oh.
bubbling.
Yes. Yes. I'd like to ask you about balcony darshans.
Hmm.
Because you must have gone to balcony darshans
Yes.
for so many years.
Yes.
Can you say a little bit about that?
That's very nice experience if you are not getting late.
Oh no, we have lots of time.
As I told you, in our childhood or in our family, we never had worship or rituals or anything like that. Our family was like that. So we never knew anything. Whatever I had, whatever I did, or whatever I achieved, it was all from within and from Mother. She showed me everything. So balcony darshan, I still remember. I used to sleep late at night because Mother had given me 8 hours work and I was tired also. Night at 11 o'clock I used to reach home. So morning, I had no clock when I came here. But I used to tell her that wake me up before balcony darshan. And I used to sleep. And she used to come at 6 o'clock and wake me. Can you imagine that how much work she had to do for us? And after getting up, just rest, just wash and rest. I never missed balcony darshan. Used to stand just below the balcony in front of her eyes, as heart full of devotion as I could. One day I felt when she looked from above at me as if a lotus in the heart started opening. This was my experience at that time. And after that, all the devotion, all the adoration, that surged up. And I used to come to meditation hall after balcony darshan. And I was absolutely, means daily it was used to be that meditation, how to meditate, she taught me. After that I couldn't get up. It was so natural and spontaneous. So in one day dream also she came when I was asking for the peace, how to feel it, how to have the descent of peace. I used to pray to her. And she came in the dream, And what she did, I'm sitting as if here, on my head, she put her head topsy-turvy, like that, both the heads meeting. And she drilled. She drilled my head. I went inside, at least 6 inches deep, as if she went down. And it was such a nice experience, full of bliss. So I thought today I will write at least to her what has happened. But no, when I came to balcony, she gave such a recognition, such a smile that I know everything what I have done is not right. And after that, when I came to meditation hall, and for half an hour, it was an iceberg putting on my head. The descent of peace I could feel that day. I could know that day what is descent of peace. So that is how in balcony she used to give within 10 minutes to thousands of people, each whatever he wanted. Is it not a miracle? Is it possible for a human being? Just by seeing that also from a distance, all together at a time, and to everybody according to his need. And that is not physical, that is something more responsible for a guru, to awaken him from within. That was her work. So Can't we accept her as a God? We are bound to. She has seen our lives. And then I'm relaying this experience to you. Somebody from Golkund, they approached mother that we want for 1 hour at the gate duty, if she can do it. I came new, so everybody was trying to take me for the work. So they wanted that I should go and we can, after the balcony darshan, 6:30 to 7:30, if I can go and sit there as a gate duty. Mother didn't ask me physically. Nobody asked me physically. But she came in my dream. In the ashram itself, when I was standing near the staircase of this first staircase opposite Samadhi, she held me like this, like a friend. She said, looking at me, would you like to work in Golkund? And I spontaneously said, no, mother, not with the present work. I was already fully busy whole day. No, mother. And said, oh, she smiled and said, oh, yes, yes, okay. And she, after just petting me, and left. And she gave the reply to the people who wanted me, without telling me anything from any side. Then after a few days I heard, yes, it was done actually. They tried. They approached mother. And what mother had said, that was important for me, because I had seen in the dream what happened. But then she replied to them, no, she won't. It is her time for meditation. So one could say that she was interested not in our big things or big experiences or in our big sadhana part of it. She was interested for each of us in every detail. And that she knew everything. Without telling me anything or asking me anything physically, she could reply on my behalf. So Narit Bhai, whatever I got in my life, I got from within, directly from her. No interviews, no letters, just blessings or birthday blessings or going to her, doing pranam and everything. Because I have always got the answer without asking, so what's the need?
You and I were both here when Mother left her body. Can you speak about that day?
That would bring tears to my eyes. Again, she gave me a wonderful thing which really upheld me, sustained me. Her body was laid down in the meditation hall on that couch. You know that, probably all of you. We used to go for darshan any number of times whenever we feel. You can join the line and have the darshan. So 3 days is continued like that. We didn't go home also. We sat there itself. That was another story. But one thing I can tell you, whenever I went for darshan, I saw mother's different posture. This nobody will believe. Sometimes face this side, sometimes face this side, sometimes straight. So all those 3 days, I saw her in different positions. So it was not easy for me to believe that she has left. And when they were bringing her in the coffin, I felt like from within that I should stop them. Anyway, didn't do anything, just went on with open eyes. I went on seeing her, feeling her. Then I saw her golden, radiant body. It was nothing else, no blood, nothing else. All the veins even were full of light, and it was flowing like that. That golden body I have seen. That's the mother. And that golden body, it had its warmth, it had its peace, tremendous peace, indescribable peace. The impact it has left, seeing that body itself only. Then I asked her, when you have achieved so much, when you have done so much, why did you leave? What was the necessity to leave the body when you could transform it so much? So much it was that when I got up after that all this ceremony, I thought I am also transformed. Such was the impact. Why did you leave? And then she said, it was not enough. Something more was necessary. I still have to make a bridge. And with that, she gave me the inner solace. And most probably, experience like this happened to Madhavji also. He wrote afterwards, on the same lines it was. So I could corroborate my experience also with that.
Yes.
That it's not an imagination of anybody.
Did you know him well also?
Not well, but I went through him to Mother when I approached to stay here. That contact of secretary and all that was there, but not otherwise. But I used to respect him, revere him.
Nolini?
Not much. I had much with Ambubhai, little Amritada and Pavitrada.
Oh,
Not
Pavitra.
much.
Uh-huh.
Not much, but sometimes we used to talk. From Pavitrada, we could feel always that he is such a direct channel from the Mother that he won't say anything mixing with it from his own side. He used to convey everything like as if Mother is telling you. That was the most beautiful thing. You could feel it from his eyes, you could feel it from his words.
Yes.
And you could, if you are little troubled, you are restless or something like that, you have some problem, you get solace from her, from him. So this much contact only I had with him. Otherwise, all the senior sadhaks and members, they are all our guru bhais and
Yes.
respectful
Just perhaps a
mother's
last,
children.
yes, a last question about the ashram, the atmosphere here in those early days.
I'm not so early, but I'm lucky to have seen or felt both the phases in the ashram. That is again my personal feeling.
Yes.
When I came in 55 for the first time, I was only 17 years old. And what I could feel at that time, that mother had full control of everything in her own hands. Everything was centralized. Each and every detail she had the control. From the finances, from the ashram management, from the running of the ashram, to our other responsibilities, sadhana, yoga, everything she had the full control like that. But when I came in 57, in those 2 years, I could feel the difference. Then I felt she had left like that, to different persons, to the management, different management. That central thing was not there. She distributed it. This I could feel very clearly. So along with that, naturally some differences will be there. Differences can be outwardly, from the management point of view. But this much I can say, that I never felt difference with the basic inner thing, if you are sincere, if you are following it yourself. Atmosphere may be little diluted. You may find it little difficult to meditate, to concentrate as before. But it is not gone. Ashram has not changed on those lines. And it will remain so, because that much sadhana Mother and Sri Aurobindo has done for us. They have established the consciousness so much that nobody can tarnish that thing, even in spite of all this present turmoil. Nobody can touch it. Whenever we feel near Samadhi, really I feel like that sometimes. Samadhi is like a yajna. Flames are coming up and up and up. Whosoever comes, including all ourselves also, whatever we throw in it like ahuti, Sri Aurobindo is there to burn it up and to exhaust. He's still just going on, continuously exhausting our errors, our stumblings, our faults, everything, and then takes us up. This is my feeling.
I don't think we have anything to say after that, except perhaps maybe you could say to young people who are seeking a few words, who have not met Mother, who have just perhaps begun reading Sri Aurobindo and Mother.
If they had not met Mother, they couldn't have come here. Who has brought them here? Not you and I. That inside soul of everybody, the moment it's awakened by anything, by any influence, by any word, by any reading, by any scripture, by any following, whosoever is awakened, he will know for what he has come, where he has to go, and what he has to do. So nobody comes here just that he came. He may not be able to stay, that is another thing. He may not be very clear about his future, about his aim and all that, about himself, so clearly in the beginning. It can happen. But nobody comes here in just like that, just by chance. No, I don't think. And I never leave hope. When I see little children on Samadhi, and sometimes some children, see their eyes, their feeling. Some children cry entering ashram, and some children drag their parents inside to come. They don't want to go out. What is that? Who teaches them? Who asks them? So I'm not despaired about the younger generation. It is her work, it's God's work. when He has created, He will take care of us, each of us. And one day everybody has to go on this path, today or tomorrow. Each is destined to follow the path. And He has given such a diversity, we cannot predict His ways.
Arvind would like to ask a question.
Santosh Ben, you have been to Mother on your birthdays several times. Can you speak something about that?
About birthdays.
Going to Mother on your birthdays and Mother giving you card.
Everything is too personal, and
It's
I don't object to my sharing, but then you may not feel that I am only talking about myself. It is not myself. What I want to tell is that how Mother used to work on us. That's my main purpose of telling all these things. As you have asked for for my birthday, yes, it was many times. Every year till she was seeing birthday people. Just one incident, like a story it may look, but it was for me very... When I went to her for the first time in that interview room, birthdays I had before also, but interview room for the first time after the 63, I wanted to offer garland to Mother, jasmine garland. But I heard that nowadays Mother doesn't wear it. But I had the wish to put in her neck. So hearing that also, I took it, that garland. I gave it to her, and she was little, jaisa hota hai na, non-plus ho jana. She used to keep everybody's garland, whosoever brought, on the arm of the chair. Roll it like this, keep it like this, isn't it? So that garland also, she was going to put on the armchair, but somehow it didn't go there. I took 2 photographs of Mother in Sri Bindu. For the first time I had, so I took new photographs and took for her blessings so that I can take from her hand and then keep it framed. It is still there in my room. So those photographs were in her lap, spinning like this. And that garland, instead of going there, went on the photograph. Nicely set on her throat. And she looked at me and smiled so mischievously that she knew that what was in my mind, and she has done it. And she didn't show it that she has done it consciously. But the way she smiled, she made me feel that yes, I knew what you wanted.
So one more question. Many people used to ask questions to Mother, whenever they face problems. So in your case, you always got the answer from within.
Most of the time. Most of the time.
So you never felt like asking Mother,
No,
writing to her.
no. Always she answered me. If we go personally, that time also without telling me anything, she answered. And if we didn't go, the days were there, not regularly, when we were not going regularly, she came in dream. So much so that I used to have very severe headache when I joined the ashram. And I had not the habit of working so much, 8 hours, 10 hours. So severe headache, and especially in this heat, I had to go to press walking from far off distance. So I always used to vomit in the afternoon before going. So much it was troubling me. And then I prayed to her, what is this? I want to serve you. And this doesn't allow me to serve you well. And thinking that, praying that, after my lunch, when I came home, I spread the mat, lie down on that. Immediately after, my eyes are closed and I felt somebody has entered the room. But I didn't open my eyes. Whosoever comes at this hour, let him go. I won't open. Then I felt from the door to up to this mat, he came, sat near my head, put the hand on my head. Even then, although I felt so nice, that hand, touch, but I didn't open my eyes.
So it was like a physical touch.
हाँ, बिल्कुल मुझे माथे पर लगा, ऐसे हाथ दबाया किसी ने, और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा वो टच. But I didn't open my eyes. And I prayed once more. I'm telling him that hand that once more, and she pressed again. And went like this, taking the full round of my mat, and went out. I just felt all that without opening my eyes, and slept, and got up, and that headache was not there, and after that, it didn't trouble me like that anymore.
One last question, because we've kept you a long time. Did you ever see Sri Aurobindo in your dreams?
No. No. Not in that way as I saw Mother. But the other way, the inner experience, I get his presence, his answers also at times. That is there. I could feel her, feel him. But not in such a complete way that I can tell you.
Yes. Santosh, Mother has blessed us by your coming. Thank you.
It's nice to remember her, to live those moments, and to be with her.
So I want to tell you about the transformation of the body, that Superman coming of the new race. So do you feel that Mother is working everywhere in the world and some new things are coming up, that changes are happening?
Certainly, certainly. Feeling also, but otherwise also, if you see, even from Russia, I have read this article. From there, 3 people have done that you can recreate your cells. And the full article is that the method they got is direct from within, and they have experimented on themselves, and now they have generalized it and found out the ways we can do. And in that they have said a very powerful force is entering the planet. And they are not spiritual yogis, they are scientists and doctors. They are feeling it. So what about us? We can say only with our feeling, but they are doing something physically, they are proving something physically. And that otherwise also, personally I am very, very sure.
So how
Only
many
thing
do
we
you
should-
think
we
it
should-
will take place, it will happen?
Years are very relative. तुम्हारा नाम नहीं मैं जानती. क्या है तुम्हारा नाम?
Arvind.
Arvind, हाँ. Years are very relative. Our time conception is very, very limited. These bigger things, these कहना चाहिए पूरी the things of cosmos, they should be taken in that perspective. So our view of time is very limited. We want things that they should finish within 1 year, 2 years, like that. No. It may take some 100 years. But definitely it has the speed of nature is definitely expedited. Much more expedited than people can think of even. That much is sure. For us it is now to open, allow it to work in us. Just pray, nothing else. She has made things so simple. That's what I feel now, even for the physical body, for our own body. It may not be a transformation, but you can still cure so many things just by opening. She has made it very easy. You have not to do anything. You just allow me to pass.